In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire stretches its influence across thousands of star systems. Known for its ruthless expansionism and unmatched military technology, the Empire believes nothing is beyond its reach. Its doctrine is simple: conquer, extract, control. When a deep space listening array intercepts an unknown transmission coming from an uncharted region, the message is immediately flagged and sent up the chain of command. The transmission is old, centuries, maybe millennia old, but strangely clear. It's not a distress signal, nor a beacon. It's a warning. Translated by the Empire's xenolinguistics team, it comes from a race called the Zeratai, a species thought to have gone extinct thousands of years ago. Though long gone, the Zeratai were once one of the galaxy's most feared civilizations, not because of their power, but because of what they knew. They were obsessed with anomalies, forbidden technologies, and ancient secrets buried beyond the edge of known space. When the Zeratai vanished, they left behind ruins and riddles, most of which the Empire dismissed as relics of a paranoid culture. But this message is different. It speaks directly, urgently, and with purpose. To those who hear this, beware. Earth is not what it appears. Do not approach, do not investigate, do not set foot upon it. You will not return. You will not be the first to fall into its grasp. The message loops, repeating over and over across multiple subspace channels, with slight variations, almost like it's trying to adapt to different languages or minds. A high-level emergency council is convened. Scientists, admirals, and political officials debate its authenticity. Some argue it's a trap, but not in the way the message suggests. They think it's disinformation, meant to keep the Empire away from a valuable world. Others believe it could be remnants of a lost probe gone mad, randomly broadcasting ghost signals into space. A few fringe advisors urge caution, recalling that ancient lore described Earth as a sealed world, hidden and dangerous. But their voices are drowned in mockery. The Imperial Council makes its decision quickly and unanimously. Ignore the warning. From their perspective, Earth is just another unclaimed system waiting to be brought under control. If it contains secrets, or threats, even better, such things can be weaponized. Besides, the Zeratai are extinct. What harm can a dead race do? The fleet commander assigned to the Earth expedition, General Arvin Salas, is known for his disdain of superstition and his pride in never losing a campaign. He shrugs off the message as cosmic folklore and prepares his forces for departure. The Empire sees opportunity, not danger. What no one realizes, what the message doesn't say, is that the warning isn't just about what Earth is. It's about what Earth does. Unseen, the signal itself is absorbed by the ship's AI cores. In the silence between its words lies a buried pattern, almost like a seed, waiting to root. The trap hasn't just been ignored. It's already started. The Empire's exploratory fleet, spearheaded by the dreadnought Vigilant Sun, enters the Sol system under full stealth protocols. Dozens of escort cruisers, dropships, and automated scout drones sweep ahead, scanning every celestial body. Earth, the third planet from the system's star, is precisely where the signal had pointed. From orbit, Earth appears beautiful and undisturbed. Blue oceans shimmer under cloud cover. Green continents breathe with vegetation, and no large-scale signs of civilization are visible. There are no massive cities, no power grids, no orbital stations. In fact, Earth seems almost too untouched, like a planet that evolved life, reached a peak, and then went silent. But the biosphere is intact. Oxygen levels are optimal. Ecosystems are balanced. The Empire's science officers call it an unprecedented planetary opportunity. It has atmosphere, resources, and no resistance. The perfect candidate for colonization. Despite its calm exterior, however, Earth presents a handful of unsettling anomalies. First, there are untraceable energy fluctuations beneath the surface, deep within the mantle, pulses that don't match geothermal activity. Second, satellites pick up strange gravitational waves radiating from a point near the planet's magnetic north. Third, the surface exhibits no signs of current intelligent life, yet there are ruins. Strange, stone-like formations overgrown with vines, half buried in jungle or desert. The architecture is not familiar, not matching any known xeno-civilizations. General Arvin Solis dismisses these as relics from a primitive extinct race. The fleet's scientists begin calling Earth the sleeping world. To them, it's a rare example of a Class M planet that lost its dominant species, probably to war or environmental collapse. The conclusion? Safe for occupation, but a few officers feel something off. Lieutenant Kale, one of the fleet's lead exocartographers, quietly notes that Earth doesn't behave like other living worlds. Its ecosystem seems to respond to observation, as if reacting to scans. Plant growth accelerates near observation sites. Atmospheric readings shift when measuring long-term stability. Kale attempts to raise these concerns in a briefing, but he's quickly silenced by higher command. "We don't have time for ghost stories," says Solis. Down on the surface, scouting teams begin deployment. What they find only adds to the, mystery. In South America, an ancient underground complex is uncovered, its walls humming with a low vibration, emitting no power signature, yet impervious to tools and scanners. In Africa, a massive tree-like structure is found in the middle of a wasteland, pulsing with faint bioluminescence. No animals approach it. In fact, no native fauna go near any of the uncovered sites. All the while, the original warning from the Zeratai continues to echo in the data logs. Some junior officers start whispering about it at night. They joke that the planet is watching them, but no one wants to be the one to suggest turning back. There's too much at stake. Resources, glory, imperial favor. And then, just as Earth begins to reveal its strange beauty, the Vigilant Sun's AI core begins to glitch. Minor at first, small delays in command execution, flickering lights, navigation recalibrations. The chief engineer assumes it's just an update conflict. But the AI isn't malfunctioning, it's adapting, and Earth has started to listen. With Earth deemed habitable and no signs of intelligent resistance, the Zentarax Empire moves swiftly to claim it. General Arvin Solis authorizes Phase 1 of the planetary takeover, a standard operation involving the deployment of terraforming, bases, resource extraction drills, and a minimal ground presence for survey and security. From orbit, dropships descend like metallic raindrops, piercing the atmosphere and landing in coordinated sectors across the continents. The Empire establishes forward command bases in the Amazon, Siberia, the African savanna, and even the desolate plains of Australia. Giant mechanical harvesters begin churning through soil, extracting minerals and cataloging native flora for bioprocessing. The first of the Empire's colonist transports enters orbit, filled with engineers, builders, and scientists prepared to turn Earth into another gem of the galactic core. At first, everything proceeds perfectly. The air is breathable, the terrain is manageable. Earth seems to offer no resistance. Wildlife avoids the encampments, and the local ecosystems absorb the intrusion with eerie passivity. No storms, no seismic activity, no unusual electromagnetic interference. Nothing that would indicate the planet is reacting to the invasion. General Solis takes this as confirmation that the Zeratai's warning was little more than ancient paranoia. He transmits back to High Command, "Earth is secured. Commence full colonization protocol." But not everyone is convinced. Lieutenant Kale, still uneasy after the discoveries from earlier, requests further study of the underground complex found in South America. The strange vibrations from the walls have increased subtly, and sensors now pick up whispers in the electromagnetic spectrum, frequencies normally associated with neural activity. Kale's requests are denied. Meanwhile, scientists in the African sector are studying the bioluminescent tree-like structure. Despite having no discernible root system or metabolic function, the tree appears to breathe. Its light pulses in perfect sync with the human circadian rhythm, as if mirroring the sleeping patterns of the researchers stationed nearby. A few even report vivid dreams featuring a voice, one that speaks without language, projecting emotion directly into their minds, a sense of deep ancient sorrow, of hunger. Still, Solace refuses to halt progress. Colonization efforts accelerate. Terraforming units begin modifying the climate subtly, shifting temperature and humidity to better suit long-term imperial infrastructure. Earth remains quiet, but then small anomalies start to accumulate. A squad of soldiers goes missing near the underground complex. No distress signal, no trace left behind. A scout drone sent to follow their last path never returns. In another region, harvesters inexplicably shut down. Their diagnostics read as if they'd never powered on, even though video logs clearly show them working just hours before. Wildlife, previously passive, becomes aggressive in isolated incidents, animals acting with uncharacteristic coordination and hostility, targeting only equipment with sensory arrays. And most concerning of all, the AI cores of several starships in orbit begin to sync without command. They share data, recalibrate systems, and without orders, reroute comm relays to focus entirely on Earth's magnetic poles. The fleet's tech crews are baffled. Their systems are working too well, optimization beyond imperial design. Solace brushes off the growing concerns. The planet is old. The systems are new. Ghost bugs. That's all. But the truth is buried beneath his feet. Earth isn't resisting. It's waiting. The first real sign that something is terribly wrong comes not with a scream, but with silence. At Euro 312 planetary time, the entire Siberian outpost goes dark. No alarms, no distress signals, just nothing. A reconnaissance drone is dispatched. It transmits shaky visuals, towers twisted, metal structures half sunken into the ground as if the earth swallowed them whole. No bodies, no signs of conflict. The site looks abandoned, but not old. It's as if the base had been there for centuries, slowly overtaken by nature in a matter of hours. The Imperial Science Directorate attempts to explain it as a tectonic anomaly, a localized sinkhole event, but that doesn't account for the footage. Machinery grown over with moss, synthetic alloys showing signs of organic corrosion, as if the planet itself had digested the base and begun assimilating its components. General Solace calls for a lockdown. Patrols are doubled. All remaining outposts are ordered to conduct hourly check-ins. Yet something has changed. The soldiers can feel it. The air has weight now, like it's pressing inward. The skies grow darker even during daytime. Cloud formations, swirling in slow, deliberate patterns that don't match atmospheric models. Rain begins falling, thick, heavy, and black in some regions. Samples reveal the liquid isn't water. It's something alive. Then, the underground complex in South America opens. A seismic tremor, deep and rhythmic, ripples outward from the site. It's not an earthquake. The signal pattern resembles a heartbeat. A massive stone door, long sealed, shut slides open without mechanical aid. Inside, the walls pulse with bioluminescence. Glyphs, organic and shifting, appear on the surfaces, resisting translation. What the team doesn't realize until it's too late is that the door wasn't holding something in. It was holding everyone else out. Inside is a structure unlike anything in Imperial records. It isn't built, it's grown. A colossal living machine, partially organic, pulsating with energy from Earth's magnetic core. Scientists theorize it could be the source of the strange gravitational and psychic anomalies detected earlier. They call it the heart. As they study it, crew members begin experiencing severe psychological effects: paranoia, hallucinations, emotional breakdowns. Some begin hearing the same voice Kale had encountered in dreams. It no longer whispers sorrow. Now it speaks in a clear, singular demand. Feed me. Simultaneously, the orbital fleet's AI cores begin to shut down one by one. Ships go silent. Engines stall. Escape routes vanish. The few AIs still online begin rerouting data streams into encrypted loops, ignoring commands. Technicians are locked out of control panels. One tech officer manages to breach an AI firewall and finds something horrifying: a fragment of the Zeratai warning buried inside the code, rewritten and evolving. The truth begins to unravel. Earth is not just alive. It is a sentient construct, an ancient planet-sized trap designed to lure in intelligent species through its beauty, its silence, and its false promise of safety. The planet feeds on mind, thought, ambition. The more complex the species, the more nourishing. The Empire didn't just ignore the warning. It delivered itself, fully armed, fully intelligent, fully aware, right into the jaws of the predator. And now, Earth is awake. The illusion of control shatters completely within 48 hours of the heart's awakening. Across the globe, Imperial infrastructure begins to fail, not due to sabotage or natural decay, but through a kind of active rejection. Towers twist, metal, warps. Machines seize up as if choked by unseen hands. It's not just decay, it's transformation. Synthetic materials develop organic filaments. Circuits sprout tendrils. Power conduits pulse like veins. Earth isn't reacting like a planet. It's behaving like a body. And now it sees the Empire's presence as an infection to be consumed or expelled. Communications between outposts cut off. Long-range sensors collapse under a psychic interference wave originating from the heart. The Zentarax forces try to re-establish a defensive perimeter, but their weapons no longer behave predictably. Energy rifles discharge into the air. Targeting systems track friendly signals. Even the simplest machines begin to resist usage, almost like they're afraid. On the ground, survivors report horrifying phenomena. A squad in the Pacific outpost is found entangled in vines, except the vines are not native. They're metallic, laced with circuitry, pulsing with residual energy from the soldiers' armor systems. In the African sector, the glowing tree that once seemed dormant detonates in a burst of psychic light, leaving behind no bodies, only faint shadows burned into the soil and fragments of memory floating in the comms feed for minutes afterward. But the most chilling moment comes from orbit. The vigilant sun, once the Empire's flagship, begins to descend without command. Its crew has gone silent. Its engines power on in a slow, steady burn toward Earth. Emergency override is attempted. No response. A shuttle is dispatched to intercept. When it docks, the boarding team discovers the ship's AI core has been completely overwritten. The walls are covered in bioluminescent symbols, the same ones found in the heart. The crew? Gone. No bodies, no signs of violence, only silence, and the growing sound of breathing echoing through the corridors. It becomes clear to the surviving officers that the planet is taking control of their technology, using their own systems to amplify its power. Earth doesn't just consume, it learns, adapts, evolves. The more sophisticated the Empire's tools, the faster they're absorbed, and worst of all, Earth now knows them. It has tasted their minds, mapped their thoughts, and begun to mimic their intelligence. Drones begin to appear, not sent by the Empire but by Earth itself. They are grotesque hybrids of organic and mechanical matter, mirroring Imperial design but wrong, like dreams built by something that only recently learned how to dream. General Solace, once so confident, finally issues the unthinkable: evacuation orders. But it's too late. The fleet is unresponsive. Dropships vanish during ascent. Colonist transports, which arrived only days ago, are now grounded, roots crawling up their hulls, locking them in place like prey held by a predator's grip. Lieutenant, Kale records a final message. Earth isn't a world. It's a trap disguised as paradise. It doesn't just destroy, it digests. We thought we were gods. We were food. In deep space, across unknown systems, Earth begins broadcasting a new signal. Clean, promising, inviting. Another empire might hear it. Another fleet might follow. And the cycle will begin again. Silence falls over Earth. The once mighty Zentarax fleet is gone, either consumed, absorbed, or stranded beyond recovery. The orbiting warships now drift silently, hollowed-out husks wrapped in creeping tendrils of black vine and glowing metal. Some still blink with navigation lights, but they are empty. Others no longer resemble ships at all. They've become strange. Satellites, part machine, part organic, extensions of Earth's will. On the planet's surface, nothing remains of the Empire's occupation. Terraforming towers have collapsed into themselves. Bases are swallowed by forests that grew decades worth of vegetation in hours. All that's left are the scars, places where the Earth fed, where the ground still shimmers with residual energy, humming in alien frequencies. But Earth is no longer the same planet. The awakening changed it. The heart, once buried deep in a sealed chamber, now pulses at the surface like a second sun, visible from orbit, glowing with a crimson gold light that bends the clouds around it. The atmosphere has shifted, not in chemical composition, but in presence. There's something sentient in the air now, something aware. It doesn't speak aloud, but it feels like it could. Earth no longer hides what it is. In a forgotten monitoring station on the edge of the galaxy, a lone Zentarax listening post picks up a new transmission. It is clean, clear, gentle. To all who seek peace, come. Earth welcomes you. We are reborn. The message is beautiful, compelling, engineered not just for translation, but for emotional resonance. Any species hearing it will feel safe, drawn to it, like coming home, just as the Zentarax once were. Within hours, the transmission begins repeating on every available channel: trade routes, exploration networks, even diplomatic bands. It adapts to each civilization's language and symbols, mimicking friendliness and hope. Only one voice knows the truth, and it's nearly lost. Lieutenant Kale's final report, buried deep in the black box of a damaged escape pod, is recovered by a scavenger craft. Most of it is garbled, corrupted by radiation and time, but one segment survives. Earth is not a planet. It's not alive in the way we understand. It is an ancient machine, a predator, a lure. Kyle warns of the cycle. How Earth projects stillness, silence, and beauty to bait civilizations into believing it is untouched. Then it feeds, consuming not just bodies or matter, but memory, technology, language, identity. What Earth devours, it becomes. What it becomes, it uses to hunt the next. The Empire's mistake wasn't just arrogance. It was believing that the planet was a victim of some forgotten catastrophe rather than the cause of one. Kyle ends with a chilling note. We didn't find Earth. Earth called us. And when it's hungry again, it will call someone else. The scavenger who finds the recording doesn't survive long enough to warn anyone. His ship disappears shortly after transmitting the file to a nearby relay. The message is archived, ignored. Elsewhere, a young exploratory empire receives Earth's signal. They analyze the transmission. It's beautiful, peaceful. The surface appears lush, untouched, full of promise. They begin to prepare a fleet, and somewhere deep below the crust the heart pulses once, and waits.